Well, hi and
Hello.
welcome back. It's Jack and I.
Oh, God, it's been so long.
It's been like 5 days, but we're here at Dragonborn Industries, ready for another unboxing this week. So
I think, and today we're unboxing MALADUM from Battle Systems, who is very kindly sponsoring our streams for Starfinder and Bloodpunk and all sorts of shebangs.
Yeah, which is wild to think that they've sent us out so much terrain and stuff, but this is one of the other things that they sent us out, which is a cooperative, semi-cooperative board game.
Yeah, so you're working as sort of like a party of adventurers and loot takers, and you go into dungeons and you're just basically trying to loot everything you can and probably kill monsters in the meanwhile.
That's a very concise explanation of it. Because having a look at it, obviously, like it in the grand scheme of things, it's not. It doesn't seem like a massive box, but I think what you get inside here is huge.
You get a lot
because it's so modular as well, and it's something that they pointed out to us when we were first in touch with them, and they were like, "Look, we want to send you some terrain and stuff because." You know, the main thing is it is modular. You don't need to set it up in certain ways, and that's the main reason I'm here is to look at that. And the other reason that Jack's here is that he is my rules lawyer and like loves board games, and we'll go through that stuff.
That is true. That is true.
And I think there is lore behind this as well because it's called Dungeons of Enveron, which I think they have got like.
There's got to be some story behind it that I'm unaware of.
Yeah,
and
I'm imagining that's in the core rulebook, which should be in there as well. I bloody well hope it's in there. And they've also sent us out a couple of expansion packs as well. So they've also sent us out the Beasts of Enveron, which is this here where you get a selection of miniatures and attack cards. So actually you get 9 Wandering Beast miniatures, 6 character cards, 6 Bloodworm pit markers, 9 event cards, 1 hidden location card, 1 rules reference card, and 44 equipment tokens.
All in this small little box here.
That's
quite a lot.
That's a lot of equipment tokens. And then we've got
the Of Ale and Adventure expansion, which I think adds a lot to the sort of in between games. So when I think you go into dungeons and you loot stuff and you kill monsters and such, and you want to try and get out there alive. But I think it's meant to be played as sort of a big long adventure. So you sit down maybe for one evening and you play a dungeon with whoever your friends and family, and then maybe perhaps the next day you play again. But you're playing as the same characters, and I think you go into like a town basically in between dungeons. I think you can just sort of loot up and buy things and all such.
That's cool. So it basically gives you that D&D, that fantasy RPG kind of setting where you go, you know what, a TTRPG setting really, because we are tabletopping it here, where you can essentially go shopping. Because that apparently is what D&D is. So that's the shopping expansion according to Jack.
Well, this I think expands on it. So I think it adds a lot to the shopping experience, and you meet a lot of other characters. You get some character boards, some other reference cards, event cards, side quest cards. I mean, I don't think side quests are even in the core game.
No.
So I think it just adds a lot more. I mean, you get 279 equipment tokens.
So looting's got to be a big thing with this game. It's got to be pretty humongous. And obviously then miniatures, which for me is a huge thing because I've been really into minis. It's the whole reason I back a load of Kickstarters is for minis and stuff like that. And not that this is now a Kickstarter. You can go and buy this. If you're here on Twitch, there's a link pinned to the top of chat. You can go to the website and find it there. That lets them know you come from us. I'll put the link into the YouTube descriptions below as well, because there were tons of frickin' minis with these, which we were talking about this beforehand. There is this weird tooth fairy looking geese right here.
Geese.
Which obviously that glare's horrible. Once we take the cellophane wrap off, that's going to disappear. But like the Beasts of Enveron alone, things like saber-toothed bear and that elemental golem. It looks like a kind of like stony earth golem. This ghoulish vampire-looking thing. Rats. All level 1 shit needs rats. I think that was our like first D&D ever encounter was rats.
Sure.
And then this cool ass looking, just loads of minis, and the fact that you're getting like character minis, so like NPCs, you're getting things that you don't have to just use for Maladum. You could use any of this I've seen so far with any other TTRPG that you're playing. So Pathfinder, D&D, if you're playing any RPGs that you're transferring into it and having stuff. I think that this is a set that you could buy even if you didn't play the game and you wanted to just get it for the terrain and that, because it does come with what looks like a shit ton of stuff, and obviously we're going to dive into it. But if that's the same as Core Space and the sets they sent out to me for sci-fi, that's a neoprene battle mat.
That is, it literally says in here, neoprene battle mat, somewhere.
Printed neoprene battle mat.
There it is, right there.
Which is gridded.
Yeah.
Which
There's so much to this, and it is worth saying that this is a follow-up from Battle System's original game, Core Space.
Yes.
Which is pretty much
Sci-fi.
this, but sci-fi in all of its wondrous glory.
I was unboxing the shuttle yesterday or the day before, and I was just like, and I'm getting Core Space.
Yeah.
So, but this is their fantasy variant, and this is, yeah, it's a 1 to 4 player game. It says I think each individual mission or adventure takes 60 to 120 minutes, so about 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And apart from that, Jack has actually done more research into this than I have, which is
Only a little bit.
because I'm here to gush at minis, basically. I'm going to hand that over to you.
Oh God, you'd again let me open it.
Yeah, I mean, I unbox things all the time. You never get to do this.
Well, I suppose that's fair enough. Yeah, all right.
And while Jack does that, obviously, hey, Dak, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing all right. What I might do is actually turn the chat off on the actual screen because I don't want to block anything out from there. But I'll still see it on the Twitch chat just there. Dak, hope you're doing well. Welcome in. This is MALADUM. MALADUM! This is by Battle Systems. So again, we're just trying to unbox and get through everything they've sent us. But this is a dungeon crawler, TTRPG inspired board game. We'll just throw that to one side. And
feels good.
everything that you need to play it, I do love a matte finish on a box.
It's nothing like it.
Is in the box. So you get modular terrain, and it is modular to fuck. Like, and that is the only way to describe it.
Modular to
Is honestly, I was putting some of the core space stuff together, and I was just like, oh, oh, this is very good. So. Let's get into there. But check out the link at the top of the chat, or if you're in YouTube, check it out in the descriptions, and go let them know that we sent you across. So this is the 2x2 playmat, which...
So you get this very nice sort of like,
Look at that.
almost like lava coming through the cracks of this sort of stone dungeon flooring and these roots. I think it's just fucking cool.
It's very cool. But not it's high quality, it's not like faded or anything.
No,
Like the
no,
saturation
absolutely.
of the colours is really,
Yeah.
really good. Obviously, yeah, 2 foot by 2 foot. What's that in grid? So, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to count that way, am I? 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 120 by 120 grid, which is about all you need for most D&D battles. Most people don't have a table like we have, and you don't have that space. So even for like D&D, that's fucking awesome, let alone getting in and setting up some terrain, having a war game on there, and, you know, deciding on what you're going to do. But let's
get some more stuff out.
yeah, let's have a proper look through the core set and go from there. And then we'll lay it all out on this lovely mat, really. We can zoom in on things.
So I think this is the drawstring tag. Get this out. This is where you put some tokens in. Oh, that feels quite nice.
So I think things like, I'm already looking like down into the fact that like they've given you like bags to put things in and stuff. I'm a big fan of that.
That's a good quality bag, actually. I really like that.
So this, do we know what this is? Is this just the drawing counters out of?
I think it's to do with like when you draw monsters out. So I think each round you end up drawing, I think, a certain amount of monsters and a certain type of monsters, depending on a track. And they all go in here and you randomly pick out of it, which I think is what it's for. I could be totally
well,
wrong,
we'll dive
but
into
we'll
the rule
find
book and
out.
have a proper look.
Yeah.
But is that actual leather? Is that a...
I don't think it's real leather.
I don't know, it feels good though.
It does feel good.
And for the size, I have a men's medium hand.
It's medium.
That is such a niche in-joke that only about 3 people will get if they know me.
Got some clear plastic bags to keep some stuff separate, which is very good. Oh,
God.
Go on, open them.
Yeah, I love a range ruler. So, like, usually, obviously, with things like tabletop games, if they're war games, you tend to play with a range ruler. If it's D&D and stuff, you tend to go by grid, but not me. Not me.
Not
I like
you.
to use a range ruler for a lot of things, and it takes away that, like, trigonometry of having to go with, like, elevation and stuff.
Sure.
But that is an acrylic template. Not only that, that's a 1-inch grid on it.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
let's see if we can show that off. Across there is, you can see these little notches, these little black. That is genuinely an inch on each one, which lines up to...
These are nice and solid as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they're acrylic. That's fucking lovely. I like that it's got the spell effect on it and the arrows and stuff, so you can just be like, you can go diagonal! Without people going, oh god, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Which, in all fairness, does work, and I do like Paizo for that.
I think this is
but-
quite nice because in some games, like some board games, you can get some like range rulers and stuff, but they end up being quite flimsy.
Cardboard.
And if you're trying to pack things away, they can get easily bent, and it's just not nice. But these are just solid and nice and clear, which is really, really awesome.
Yeah, I do like...
Cool.
it's when WizKids went to like clear-based minis. I liked that they actually can see through it onto the board. Just gonna see how long that is. Because it's 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. If you were to put a mini at one end and a mini at the other, that's a 70-foot ruler. It only measures for 65 inside of those lines, but if you were to have a mini there and a mini there, that mini's just at the 70-foot mark. 10, 15, 20, 25. Same again. Oh, that's cool. So, if you were to play Dungeons and Dragons, and most characters have a 30-foot movement speed, obviously, if you put this like a war game, say your mini's here, you put it to the base, and then go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then put your mini at the end of it, that's 30 foot of movement.
Oh, that is very good.
That's...
Yeah.
I geek out about stuff like that all the time. 'Cause then you can I used to play a lot of X-Wing where you go like this, you put the template down, and you go like that, and then you move the mini to the side of the template, and I'm a big fan of that. So, range rulers, big win.
Big win, a big fucking W, as they say. As the
Big
kids,
fucking W!
as the kids say.
Oh, I like that
I
a
love
lot.
the kid. I'm gonna try. Oh, fuck, I can't remember.
I can see minis. Let's do this bit first, shall we?
Yeah,
God.
yeah. We're getting to it. So I think this is part of the... part of the track where I think you end up putting it a peg and you keep going up as you're taking rounds.
So we're going to do a lot of pegging during this.
Oh yeah, so much pegging.
Nice.
And I think in this little bit here, I think you can... It might be depending on the scenario that you're doing, but you can put these little cardboardy bits to show what sort of zone you're in.
Is that like also the danger level?
Yes, the danger level. That's a better way of describing it.
Oh, it's on the bottom of that bit. I'm like, why is it not on the bottom of the box? Because that's the front of the box, and I'm a fucking moron. But is that what those bits are there, or is that that's just?
No,
I was going to say like the bits you've got in your hand, like the cardboard bits.
No. I'm not entirely sure what these are for.
They look
They're clearly for something.
They look like separators, so that you can put different.
Oh yeah. See, he's smart. This one.
I've got a lot of war games. I've done a lot of Kickstarters, and a lot of them are like some of them have the game trays where you like then have stuff like this where each one's got its individual space. But I think that's for cards and for these trays and stuff. But it already looks like it's got the game trays and stuff in there. So
yeah, I think so.
It has. I mean, I can see them.
Yeah.
Like,
There's one for this stuff. Yeah. I think so.
They're character boards.
These are the character boards.
Yeah. So
I think because they are a little bit bigger than the other ones, which are these ones. I think these are NPC ones.
Oh, really?
Because I think they have their own little sort of their own stats, as it were. So I think
just not as much as you get as a character. Like
exactly.
All standard things.
You've got to be more powerful than these noobs. But
they've also got like it's all embossed as well. So like I think there's literal symbols for what it's going to be, and the pegs all seem to have
so you end up,
well.
I think in here somewhere will be little sort of inserts you put into these. So you can use any one of these and put your little insert to show this is your character, these are your skills. Put some pegs here, you're good to go.
Do you know what's a nice touch?
What? Yes, the little I know. I saw that when I was watching the little bit of the video, like being able to just punch it out.
Yep. Rather than going, ugh!
That's really smart because, like, I can imagine the inserts getting just fucked up, but trying to go.
That for me is a big one. Like, because that's most of what I would do. But like that's a nice touch. The fact that they've gone, actually, let's just punch it through rather than
definitely.
Yeah, it's all about preserving the game. So
let's get to the minis. You want to.
Yeah, let's have a look at what we get in there. So, because what we can do is we can also dive into other things as we show things off. Dice. Holy shit! Right, so we're gonna take this lovely tray top off. There are all the pegs. So you got some pale blue, you got some black, green, and pinky purple, like a fuchsia, maybe. I guess. I guess they all are gonna go into your character board. I'm gonna hold that up there, which obviously is gonna fit into those holes just there. Dice. Let's have a look at what I've got, because this is a D6 system, but it's got what I think is like most of the war games where you've got hit and crit dice. So we obviously have these red dice, which usually, I believe, would denote hits.
Yes.
So it looks like we've got a skull, a single hit, a blank, and a blank. So 2 blanks, 3 hits, and what I imagine is a crit or a failure, maybe. We'll have to dive into the rulebook and let them know.
I think the dice look cool.
They are.
They're not just like simple candy red or anything. They do actually have a little bit of like
mica powder.
Yeah.
So as somebody who makes dice, that is semi-transparent with depth as well in it, and
just like that, just a little bit of detail which just makes it a little bit nicer.
well, it's also nice to not just have generic D6s.
Yeah, no,
it's so this one's interesting. This one's clearly got different symbols on it and stuff.
I think this is, I think for how monsters move.
Oh,
so
cool.
like because you'll see it on it, you'll see like 6 or something
Fucking
that way. And I'm not sure what the other symbols mean, but I'm pretty sure.
Shotgun shells, 5 that way.
Shotgun shells.
I'm pretty sure that's not shotgun shells. That's going to be... but we'll dive into the rule book. I mean, feel free to get it out. We've also then got this lovely agate-looking dice, which has got what I imagine to be skeletons and zombies on it. Because it's got these bases that look like zombies, and then these claw arms. But again, a D6
we'll find out
system,
what
but
does.
And then we've got a blue dice, which...
Blue dice. I think because you've got 2 hits on there, maybe for... I think probably maybe for spells.
Maybe.
Because I think red was to do with strength and your actual sort of fighting. Critty! So it would make sense, wouldn't it?
So...
Oh, we got a little pen.
Oh, well,
yes.
don't just show it down there.
Got this little black, I think, hopefully not permanent marker. Which
Straight on the neoprene.
which I think is when you have your little character boards out, you have little skills that I think you can choose per level. And I think you have to colour in the little circle to sort of denote what skills you've taken,
wipes off again
what you've
afterwards.
gained. Yeah, I think that's what that's for.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
That's a very nice touch. So I'm going to go into character minis first. There's one that I know that Steph is really interested in because this is the one that she's all excited to play. This is Greet. This is the little goblin girl, which if you don't know Steph, her moniker is Little Goblin Girl. Come on. I'm going to put my hand behind it.
Focus up, mate. Focus up.
And I like their take on the aesthetic. So it's not just like the standard D&D or Pathfinder goblins. This is their own iteration. Come on.
It's not playing ball today. Oh, there.
So I'm looking forward to getting these primed up. Whether I do a full paint session before we start this campaign, they'll at least be primed and zenithalled. We then have... well, actually, have you got the character boards there? Because if we can show the minis and find the characters...
I would imagine they're probably down on these punch boards somewhere.
Because I imagine they are named. And in the meantime, I guess I'll go through these minis. You've got this horrific looking...
Horrific.
It's like a weird tentacle dog. It's the kind of thing that you imagine in a video game just comes like slopping after you and you're just like, oh god! Then we've got 1, 2 kind of zombie skeletons. Oh no, these ones are zombies. So we've got 2 of these, which are the same mold. Big zombie clawing hands. We've then got a 2-headed. I think that's like part vine, part... Oh yeah, look at that, it's got like a tree trunk leg. Okay. And then vines coming down for its arm, covered in chains and like a broken shield. That's a very awesome mini. Very much looking forward to painting that one up.
So we've got some characters. I'm not sure if they're the NPCs.
So they are, because that's Greet, so that's a playable character.
Okay, so these must be the playable characters then. So you've got quite a selection there.
So, obviously Greet is first, which is that mini just there.
Yeah, this one right there.
Which, feel free to bring it up closer.
I think... Just try and get... God, my fucking brain is not working out.
It's strange when the camera's over there and then you gotta like... So used to like being in different positions.
So I think... Obviously, you choose your characters as you're playing the MALADUM, and I think you can get randomly spawn NPCs within the dungeon you're in, and they can be these other characters that you haven't chosen.
Oh, nice.
I think that's what it is, because I remember seeing a little video of someone else playing this, that Greet was, in fact, one of the NPCs.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, and they've got their own sort of health, skill, magic, actions, and XP.
So this one must be Morana.
Morana.
Which is this cool ass. Come on. Gotta try and get it centre. Mini just there.
Definitely magique.
Yes, with that arm out casting. Then we have, who's next? That's got to be, is that Baron?
Yeah,
It's got to be Baron.
Gotta be Baron.
Also looks like a caster actually, or is that like a lacrosse?
I think he's like a
throwing rock?
healer druid sort of type.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we have this lacrosse-like stave. There you go.
Nice.
Kind of looks like the dude from.
I think they're really well detailed, actually.
They are.
I think they're really, really good quality.
We'll have to get some pictures of these separately and then put them across. And they've taken off a lot of the sprue marks as well, or where they've molded them, like you can see there, where it's just been cut off something, and they've actually taken time to smooth it all out.
Oh, just fucking knows. I think
One's an NPC
when you
side.
have them on NPCs, they're on this side.
There you
which,
go.
I think it sort of minimises about kind of what they do and just puts it all into one little insert. Yeah, that's really, really cool.
So who's this guy then? This is...
Who are we talking? That's gotta be Grogmar. There's no shadow of a doubt there. There's Grogmar.
That's got to be their like orcish
Yeah.
bruiser of a character. I mean that like absolute hellish
Apparently
sword.
his race is Ormen.
Orman.
All men. So a mixture of orc and men, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe. Because I suppose they have to go their own way. So we've got
Grobbler.
is the
Grobbler? Yeah.
is the race for them.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't change that one. Eld.
Eld, I think it's Eld, yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
Human.
So we've got
Ormen.
4 humans, Ormen, Eld, and Grobbler.
Then we've got this, who must be Narinda. Looks very roguish. With that
Yeah.
face cloth on. Come on there. You got this. Come on, camera.
Come on.
There we go. I like that sword as well. Is that a fucking gun?
Gun?
There's a gun!
Is it a gun?
There's a flintlock.
Holy shit.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, fair play.
She's fucking badass.
Maybe.
Who else we got in the characters? So this one is Sirio.
Is that maybe...
This guy right here, the Eld.
Is it Serio? Oh yeah, that's got to be Serio, isn't it?
So I'm looking forward to painting that like teal blue skin up on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Where else? My hand keeps
Very
twisting around.
nice.
There you go. Very cool. Then, which leaves this person, which must be
Kalan.
Kalan. There we go.
Yeah.
Sword swinger.
Beautiful.
Lovely axe on their back. I like that, like weapons on the back and stuff.
Yeah.
As for the rest of the minis in there, we've got another one of those like tentacle style canine-esque beings, but this one's got a tentacle arm up. Just looks like it's got a horrible little like whiplash ability or something. We've then got the skeletons, so more of the like the zombie looking things, but these ones have a slightly different pose to them. More kind of like trudging forwards. What I might do, I wonder if bringing this up here is going to be better.
Show the array of moves.
Yeah, because then we've got this thing, which is our...
It's got to be the rot troll, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, its guts are falling out of it,
Mm.
which is... Obviously getting them primed up is going to show them off a lot better.
Yeah.
We've then got down here a load of these tiny little things, which look like arachnid style.
Oh, they could be the cankers.
Oh, that artwork's cool.
Yeah.
Like, so the mini is this tiny little thing there. You're not going to see the detail under these lights, but that's fucking cool. It's like bone spiders with these like lamprey mouths behind armor. We've then got this guy, which is some kind of... I mean, they're carrying a lot of stuff. They've got a book, like a spell tome in their hand by the looks of it, carrying a sword a piece of wood with a nail through it, a chest under their arm.
Is it a troglodyte?
Possibly. They've got 4 arms.
Oh, it looks like they have 4 arms.
Yeah,
I think.
that'll
Yeah,
be the
it's probably
one.
a troglodyte,
Oh,
yeah.
not got that on screen. So that's the troglodyte, and then we have this, which looks like a warg of some kind. Oh, dracons must be what the other things are,
Yeah,
the
the
tentacles.
tentacle, yeah.
And then this guy's, look at his arms! That is like something out of Crash Bandicoot. Just like, oosh! That thing works out. That has got to be... What's on
I
there?
wonder if it's maybe a hell font. No.
Let's have a look. Because that I would say is... Oh no, maybe that is that one then. Oh yeah, because look at the tail actually.
Yeah.
It's got this like flat bit on the tail.
Okay, it's a bit like a Displacer Beast almost.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like a mix between a warg and a Displacer Beast. So which means, what is this?
That's got to be a Hellfont.
Yeah, look at that mouth. Oh, let's hang it up here. So a Hellfont,
Yeah.
which is awful looking, to be perfectly honest.
It's bloody awful.
Not the minis. I think the minis look fucking cool. Oh, like these guys. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Eh. Look at that. Look at that for a pose.
That's got to be a Lamenter. I think they call them the Lamenters.
Just dance. Those arms.
Yeah.
They're big hands.
Big hands.
It's like he's doing the crab.
You know what they say about big hands? Big gloves.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. I thought he was actually going to do it. Okay, so that's the minis you get. Oh no, look at that. With its like sword arms and tree arms. What is that?
Is that the Deathly Avatar? I think it is.
Could be. It's fucking crazy, Bo. Maybe, but that could also be this guy who is...
For arms. Oh, it could be that as well.
Because that's got a big old thing sticking out of his head.
Yeah, okay.
So this one is a real mix of vines and bone and weapons and armour. That's going to be really detailed to paint. That's nuts. So the minis are cool. As somebody who loves minis, they're fucking wild. I'm looking forward to painting those. I'm going to have to get those primed up. I'm sure I can do that at some point.
Bunch of equipment.
Over Christmas. Okay, so I'm going to put this to one side and then let's have a look at what's going on. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll do that later.
Yeah, it might be in the rulebook. It might say, like, put that in there. Put this in there. But this is like a whole punch-out board full of equipment. You've got your bows, your swords, your staves, maces, everything. And
they've got stats on them and everything. Yeah, so it's like, you must add that to your character board.
Yeah, so I know from the character boards that you can only hold a certain amount.
Yeah.
I think because they're all different sizes, they take up a certain amount of this.
Oh.
So if you can't fit it in there, you can't carry it.
Does that mean you've got to drop something else or go from there? Yeah. That's cool. That's
which
very cool.
I just think is just genius, to be honest.
Yeah, encumbrance. So I like encumbrance. It's something that we get to use in Starfinder, and we don't ever use in D&D. I really like encumbrance. I like going, no, you can't have every sword you've come across. You can't carry 40 swords, mate.
Mate. I think we've got some portals here.
Magic doors.
Yeah, so maybe you can teleport from like side of the map to the other side of the map, kind of thing, perhaps.
So we've got patrol points, so that's going to be where bad guys are like patrolling round and like where they start.
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah.
So I imagine there's going to be in the rule book like set up the scenario. Yes. This is where the patrol points go. They're going to then move off the dice from there.
Yes, I mean speaking of, let's put that there. We've got this.
So I'm going to actually zoom out because so far we've unboxed stuff and it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. We're going through each thing.
Look at that. I mean, so is it MALADUM then?
I like to think it's called MALADUM. I think it sounds cool. Instead of saying MALADUM.
MALADUM.
Yeah, MALADUM. You know, it's got a very like Lord of the Rings sort of ring to it. MALADUM. Like Khazad-dûm, that kind of thing. So I think this is the scenario book, which I think... or it could be the fucking...
Fucking fire inside those. That's how I want to paint that.
Lost it. Like that.
That's nuts.
I mean, if you can pay that, that'd be sick. Is this the scenario book? No, this must be the rule book then.
I was going to say, like, I think it says core rulebook on the front.
There was another thing here.
Dungeon of Enveron. Then we've got quick reference on the back. Yeah, this is the core rulebook. So phasers, it looks like we've got things like campaign reference, escape phase. If the adventurer is defeated, choose rescue mission, left for dead. Oh, cool. So essentially, you switch out your characters if they die and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Advancement phase, earning XP, surviving. Market phase, take quest rewards, sell items. Rest phase, so getting HP back and stuff like that, I imagine. Quick reference, order of play. Let's have a quick look. Dread phase, adventurer phase, adversary phase, NPC phase, assessment phase. Yeah. So dread phase is add one black peg to the dread tracker, which I'm assuming is going to be this up here.
I think it is.
We will, obviously, let's not assume everything and actually get that right. Draw an event card. Obviously, it's standard for most games is to draw an event card to see what happens in the dungeon before you make your moves. Adventure phase, or adventurer phase, players take turns acting. Players take turn activating adventurers. Each takes up to... Oh, is that a dice roll?
Something action plus 1 effortless action. Yeah.
So effortless is going to be like a free action. I don't think that's a dice that we have, but that's definitively a key symbol. Well, a symbol for something like key.
It might be something that's marked on the character things themselves.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that tells you how many actions you get depending on like the amount of pegs that you've got. That's cool. Then we've got plus 1 effortless. So then we've got a load of symbols, which is like a slug over, like it's kind of like hunched over zombie or person, an eyeball, a maybe magic, and then a fire. See status effects first, and then defeated characters cannot activate. Prone characters must stand up before other actions. So so that must be movement and stuff then. Actions: move up to 4 squares, 3 if wounded. Enemies make attack of opportunity if you leave contact. Melee attack is another one. Make a melee attack against an engaged target or a target in range of, and then that symbol will be your range.
Probably
I imagine.
Range, yeah.
Look at that. We probably know how to play a game between us. We're all right. We played a few games. Dice for the melee attack. Forceful plus 1 dice plus 2. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Then we've got ranged attacks. Same again. Attack rolls. Roll dice. I'm not going to read all the rules right here for that.
I think this book is basically everything in detail.
Yeah, and like your actions, so they sort of like search,
this is like sort of like your quick start guide. I think.
Nice.
Like obviously it tells you what's in the box, and I think it sort of gives you a little brief overview of what is what. So it's got little numbers on a sort of dungeon example, and
that shows you how to set up the dungeon as well. Actually,
yeah,
because that'll tell you where the walls are, and so I'll show you this a bit. Cause it's the same as core space and stuff. The where all the keys go and stuff that lock all the walls together. So actually, it goes together really well. It's really quite cool.
And then
that fucking bridge!
Oh mate, that looks sick.
That's fucking awesome.
That is so good. What the shit?
They've also this is something they've done. You can see in this thing is they've gone and coloured in all of the sidelines to it, and it was a conversation I had with Tom from there yesterday because I've been blacklining mine. He was like, "Oh, just so you know, like a lot of people in the community like actually colour them in and match the shades," which I'm probably not going to do because I don't have the time to paint my own minis.
It's a lot of effort.
But it looks fucking awesome when you do that.
If you do it, 100%, it makes it look
well fucking
really
worth it. I mean, like, look at that artwork. Like, that's all cardstock, which is wild to think that is
all card stuff.
Yeah,
it's just
all flat packable card stuff. Yeah, so this is obviously this is the core rulebook that tells you about stats, encounters, classes. We'll dive into that once this is over. Oh, we're gonna have a good time, Jack.
Oh boy, are we! And then we got the campaign book.
Hey Connor, welcome in. We are unboxing MALADUM, which is from Battle Systems. They sent it out to us as part of a load of terrain and stuff that they sent us for both Bloodpunk and for Starfinder. It is a dungeon crawler, kind of like Resident Evil, which obviously we're playing through for the channel, Connor. And this is a high fantasy based one, and we've just been unboxing it really while having a look at what else comes in. So
campaign book. This is where your scenarios are.
Yeah,
it wasn't that one. It's this one.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he looks so sad.
He does, doesn't he?
Like, oh, please, guys.
Poor little troglodyte. So yeah, I mean, there's quite
is that who you're playing?
I don't know. I haven't decided. But I really don't know. There's loads in here. I think you could go through probably this whole entire campaign book in one party, but
if they survive. Actually, this is something I want to show off. So I'm going to borrow the campaign book.
Go for it. Yeah.
So it's something that we saw with the core space stuff. It's something that we've seen with other games from like Steamforge and stuff like that. How to set up a map. I don't think I've ever seen a easier layout for setting up a map than that. That is fucking good. The fact that it tells you where your patrol points are, you can see the walls, you can see all the connectors, you can see the doors, you can see all of the terrain elements and all of the key things you need to put down. And the fact that there is a key and everything you need for each one.
Much of each thing you need.
On one page. And I really like that. And that first one there is of Coin and Glory.
I think this is like your standard first
setup.
Dungeon.
So I mean, Yeah, it's this quest is written as a standalone, replayable scenario to build up money and experience for the party. It will be played before the main campaign as a practice game, so this is like your session 0, your practice. And at any point later in the game, unless if you find yourself short on resources, know that any stars of your party may not be able to fully explore the map, but you can always return later in the campaign to try again. So this is like a, shall we go back and do this one and just try and get some resources?
It's a bit like video game-wise. It's like, oh, I need a bit more of that.
Let's go grind down in the graveyard. It's exactly that. And so like the primary objective is like the region of Enveron seems bounteous? Is that how it's got bounteous, right?
Yeah, bounteous.
I can't read, by the way. And your hire here. Oh my god.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, it's just not engaged.
This region of Enveron seems bounteous, and you're here to make the most of it. Hunt for discarded weapons, armor, and anything you can use in future quests, or at least trade for some coin in the nearest town. Give your party valuable combat experience and develop those skills for the road ahead. Just get back out again before things get too dangerous, which is always something you need to worry about when going into dungeons, because there's always a time limit.
I'm a big fan of dungeon crawling, though, so it's what I want to know is that there's lore, because I want to know, because there's this bit here that says the world of MALADUM, like little is known of the races that inhabit ancient Mesa. I
think there's little pockets of lore
throughout the scenarios, because I want to know what an eld is and stuff like that. I want to know what they've done and how I can get more access to the lore, because I think that's something that I would really quite enjoy. But
I think they got a good story going, whatever it is.
Yeah, but they did it with Core Space as well. From what I've seen, is like there's literally like factions and stuff, and they've written like their own worlds, and I love that. I love it so much.
I bloody love it.
I bloody love it, mate. So
I think in some of these quests, it does give you a little bit of a like kind of paragraph or two about what's happened.
It says like you are offered lodging in Kelthian, which I'm like, okay, but now I want to know what Kelthian
Where's
is.
Kelthian?
Yeah, like what world is it on?
Is that our sort of home, like home region? Is that where we are, like all the time, or is it just something completely separate?
Yeah,
we've travelled somewhere.
Now I want to know.
Yeah, but campaign book, and it's pretty thick, to be fair.
Yeah,
there's a lot in here.
I mean, how many does that give you? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
While you pick on the rest of this.
Let's get these open.
So that's 47 pages, which is it says quest T. Oh yes, the quests are written alphabetically. Obviously, now I've got to count the letters in the alphabet. It's 26 normally, and we're getting up to T.
Does it have a quest Z?
No, it seems like T is the end of it. But then that's what I imagine these are going to give us, like some extra quests.
Maybe,
so,
yeah. Because that one, I think,
20.
Give us 5 quests.
You get 20 quests. Look at that, because
That's
T.
a lot.
That is a lot.
Especially if you're considering each dungeon is meant to take about an hour to 2 hours, and probably sometimes even longer.
That's months of gameplay. That is like quite literally like, because we're going to do that. We're going to stream this. We're going to, you, me, Steph, and a player that we've not yet announced. But the 4 of us are going to sit down, and it's great.
But it'll run through with it. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, so do I, because it's not only I think we're going to tell a story, and I think because the people that are involved are all storytellers in a way, we're going to end up just like diving into the lore of
the shit.
Yeah, we're going to RP the shit out of this. And, like this like dungeon crawler game is going to turn out into be like, oh my god, great! Yeah. I'm going to kill so many characters.
Oh my god. But even though some of you might think that 20 quests, that's not enough, blah blah blah. Each time you play, it's going to be different.
I wonder if it
monsters
says about
may
failing.
spawn, monsters may not spawn.
Yeah.
You're going to get different loot every time because it's all sort of randomly generated.
Yeah.
Every time you play a certain set, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make your own. You can make your own, really, couldn't you?
Yeah.
With all the walls and all the stuff that it comes with, you can literally just like design a dungeon for yourself.
Which is actually the reason that I'm really looking forward to this, and why I'm glad that Battle Systems have come in as a show supporter, is because it is usable as a modular dungeon creator. Yeah. We can quite literally take this map, we can take all of these walls and stuff, and we can then build up and create a crazy amounts of dungeons and stuff, which for both sci-fi and for the fantasy stuff I'm really, really excited about. I really want to know more about these people. I loved like the forearm racers. Like, there's something about that I really do like. What I want to find out though, I'm probably going to look into here, is what happens when you fail a quest. Because
is that it?
No, surely not.
Do you like go back to town losing some stuff, or I mean there has to be some sort of
Yeah, they're not going to just kill it, are they?
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you're going to spend all your time in there to no consequence. So there's got to be something. Yes.
You crack on with those. I'm going to find out what it is.
I've just opened what I think is the event deck.
Oh, they look like good
So
cards.
these, I think, you put a certain amount of them into one of the quests you're doing, and you shuffle them up, and then I think each sort of round you will end up drawing one of these, and something will happen. So, for instance, I'll just draw this one, which is Fresh Graves, and it says you increase Fresh Graves. One of you mind?
Imagine going into the dungeon, the first thing you see is like some fresh graves, like 4 of them, and you're like,
cool. I know. Yeah. So this increases your dread by 1, and shuffle this card back into the deck. And dread, I think, is this tracker, which sort of is a bit like your time tracker to how long you can be in the dungeon before things get more and more dangerous. So this is pretty bad. This will just make things go quicker, more dangerous, even faster, basically. But there's a whole deck there, and you'll be using them throughout your quests.
So, in terms of ending a quest, quests will list various objectives, but these do not necessarily have to be completed to end a game. Sometimes it will be all you can do. Sometimes it will be all you can do is to escape with your lives, unless specified otherwise in the briefing. A game will end immediately when all adventurers are either defeated or are safely back in their staging area. So either starting points or like basically the escape of the dungeon, I imagine. When the game is over, resolve the after game section on page 57, which is after the game. At the end of each quest, you will want to reset the game for next time. If you intend to play a rescue mission, see page 60, do that first before changing or tidying away any other components. Otherwise, return all loose items. So rescue missions, which I'm assuming is what happens when a character dies or something. Escape phase. So in this phase, you will deal with any party members that did not make it out of the gaming area by the end of the quest. If your adventurers all made it out, you can skip this phase. Choose one of the following options: rescue mission or Left 4 Dead. A rescue mission allows you to go straight back into the game you just played and save your fallen comrades. You catch your breath, patch your wounds, and return to the fray. Note that you may only attempt a rescue mission if you have at least 1 undefeated adventurer left in your party, even if they didn't take part in the most recent quest. So that means you collect party members.
Okay.
So that, for me, tells me that if we've got like 6 player characters, 4 of us obviously is the max amount you can play. 2 of the other player characters have to go back in to like fish the bodies out.
Yeah. Okay.
If they didn't take part in the most recent quest, immediately start a new game with the following rules. The gaming area and all non-adventurer components remain in place from the end of the original game, including the adversaries and other NPCs in play. The dread tracker will resume where it left off.
Jesus.
You must assemble a new party from the adventurers you have available up to the limit for the quest, and not counting any defeated adventurers. You may freely swap equipment between adventurers. All adventurers may take a free rest action. Skip that. Your adventurers will scour the area for an alternative way in. Roll the magic die. If you wish, you may swap positions, okay? The game will end as normal once all adventurers are either defeated or safely off the gaming area. You may only make a rescue mission once after each game. If an adventurer is left behind during a rescue mission, they will be left for dead. Experience is not gained. Rescue missions can be played solo, or other players can join in, either to rescue their own adventurers or to help you rescue yours. Of course, they may want payment for such services. So that's cool. There is a whole mechanic for going back in, leveling up. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Yeah, this is going to be very, very awesome. Yeah. Hey, Alchemist Models, how you doing? Yes, it really was a pleasure. We will. Actually, I'll come back in after this one and I'll make sure we follow you along because we're on Streamlabs at the moment. We are currently unboxing MALADUM from Battle Systems, who sent us out a load of stuff for the channel, and we're just looking at some minis that we can get painted. Alchemist lives down the road.
Does he?
Yeah, like quite literally.
Hello.
Is in that village at the end of the road.
Wow.
Yeah, and I met them for the first time.
Amazing.
The other day.
Yeah.
So we're sat here unboxing. Genuinely lovely person.
Oh.
So we're going to get them in.
Maybe
and
I'll meet you one day, buddy.
Yeah. You absolutely will, because we're going to get them in. We're going to chat to them and stuff like that. What are we up to next?
Well, I think these, at least these 3 cards, I think are for your spellcasters.
Oh.
So I think when you get to a certain level, you can do certain spells. So you've got like level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think 5 is your max level, I think, in this game. But yeah, I mean, you got a Eudaemon, a Rook, and a Primorus. I think this is the Druidy sort of type. I couldn't,
You demand.
yeah. I couldn't tell you sort of what kind of type these other two are, but it looks like there's a lot of cool things you can do as a spellcaster adventurer. I'm not sure what a lot of these symbols mean right now.
So basically, so it looks like I'm taking on the spellcaster because fuck yeah. So level 2 continued. Where's the level 1? So you got focus energy, X dice ranged attack with open door. Oh, so that's basically knock. Telekinesis, move loose items or add counter targets. Extinguish, remove burning counter. Detects, protect. Invisibility. Advanced telekinesis as you level up. Push, barricade, advanced detect. Myosight, perception. Fireball.
Classic.
Torrent, cocoon, energy burst, rebuild, and portal. Place a portal in an empty square. That's why we've got those. Then on our
Do you
Eudemon,
actually create portals where you are and teleport somewhere?
I think so.
That sounds cool.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming.
I mean,
it
if
literally
it is
says,
that is cool.
portal. Place a portal in an empty square.
Yeah. And not like where you can see, you just place one.
Well, I mean, I imagine there's a rule for portals.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Yeah.
Then level 1 on the Eudemon is healing, focus, strength, speed, recover. That's very buff and debuff, basically.
Yeah.
Calm, target removes terrified counters. Myosight shield, Myosight shield, sorry. Hyper awareness, jump, strengthen, healing hands. Myosight aura. Advanced healing, levitation, cocoon, phasing, remote resistance, and rearrange. I can't read that last word. That's cells? Oh, rearrange cells, it really is. Hard to read L's.
Okay.
So that's got to be the cleric or the healer. And then we've got bless, deflection, clouded minds, focus, focused energy, telekinesis, nausea, enchantment, illusion, insight, weaken armor. Myosight sensitivity, stun, blood boil, alter appearance, advanced illusion, energy burst, and advanced enchantment. So there's a real mix between like some evocation spell kind of things right through to illusion and buffing and debuffing, which is really kind of cool. Yeah, that's very, very cool. Yeah, I like that.
I think this is like an ultra starter thing.
Yeah.
So I think this can be played by 1 to 2 players. So if you
Yeah.
just sort of like we are right now, if we're learning the game, this I think is basically like the tutorial.
Yeah.
Because it has its own little scenario here.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's played basically in like a corner of the map. So it's quite a small dungeon, but it's intended there to be as a sort of learn how to play kind of thing. So everything for that I think is in here. Or perhaps it's an example. I'm not really sure. It looks like you can just play it. I'm trying to imagine what that is. But it teaches you everything in this small little book. Just how to play.
That's very cool. And it also gives you the components, which
It does,
yeah. So it literally says here what each one was for the mini. So we could have used that before with the Rot Troll, the 3 Myria, which looked like the undead meets the fauna. Hellfonts, Lementors, which is your undead, which is very Inferi from Harry Potter. I think it looks very much like that. Malagaunt, which looks like some kind of caster. Then you got Sirio, Narinda, Grogma, Morana, Callan, Greet, and Beren. Yeah, so they're all our minis and stuff like that. It's very cool. And this is the terrain, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what we are really here to see.
So we've got about 8 full cardboard boards full of this terrain, and it feels really good quality. It is thick. You know, sometimes when you get some of these punch-out boards, even just picking them up, they fall out.
Yeah.
This is not doing that at all. I'm not feeling like I have to be fragile with it at all. It's
my worry
robust.
with this is delaminating it.
Because there's always, I think, a risk for having sort of punch-out boards like this. But,
and I think I found that I did it a couple of times with the patrol class shuttle for the sci-fi stuff, I did delaminate a few things, but a little bit of glue sorted that right back out. Also, this is a no glue system, so you do not need to have glue to put this terrain together or anything like that.
You can add glue for certain things if you want to.
Yeah, which I did for the crates and stuff. I was like, fuck it, I don't need to flat pack those, they're crates. I'm going to throw those into my crate terrain box and they're going to be used for all of that stuff. But you can quite literally punch this out and like, it is in there. That is a wall, which is so fucking awesome. That it's for 28 to 35mm miniatures. And whereas what I've been doing is I've been going around and blacklining all of the edges to take away that kind of cardstock look. I chatted to Tom and he was talking about like going around and like using like marker pens to do the exact colours so they match up on either side and stuff. And again, if you do that, it looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a project if you start that for sure.
As somebody who mini paints, and like Alchemist is a huge mini painter, they are phenomenally good at it. To the point where I was like, how do I not know you live down the road from me? Like, what the fuck? I really want to get them in to do like some paint shows. I really, really do. But like it all comes out like so, and things like doors.
Oh, the doors are actually like open. Yeah, they don't just come out or anything. They are because I think it's important in this game
that you open and close doors.
If a door is open, you have a line of sight through it.
Yeah.
But if you actively close it, then you block that line of sight, which
But it also closes properly flush as well. What I will say is they're not two-way. Is that there is a flat side of the card and there is a punch side of the card. They
but
open
if
that
anything,
way.
it should be like that because doors only open one way.
There are double hinges, mate.
Unless they're on like a sort of kitchen door kind of swing.
Fucking double hinges, yeah.
But
Mate.
Most conventional doors only open one way.
What about revolving doors?
Oh, they don't count. They're a special breed.
So do bear in mind that when you punch these through or when you're using them, that you don't push those the other way. Because if you push them the wrong way, you will rip and delaminate that particular thing. What I want to do is I would like to get out some of the adjoining pieces, and I want to show you how they fit together because it is very, very cool. And the fact that like all of these doors and everything like show up on the
quest.
The quests and stuff like that. Things like chairs and stuff like that as well, like all fit together, and struts. It's all stuff that I've really enjoyed doing with the sci-fi one. We've been putting some dungeons together. So let's grab.
What do you need?
So there should be probably a little bag of connectors.
Yes, here.
So these are the connectors. They come in a bag like this, and they've got all different angles on them. And the system itself.
This is what keeps the walls up, basically.
And they are sturdy. Yeah. They are. It is a very, very, very good system. So, for example, say we had this one just here with the door. We can then take this, and that actually slots into.
Yeah. Okay.
That just there. So hopefully you guys can see that. It goes into one of the little cutaways. Yeah. And then you take another wall. Yeah. And you quite literally.
Put it on the other side.
Line it up.
There you go. You got a longer wall.
But that's already quite sturdy. Yeah. You can then start going, if you've got a right angle, around corners, which again...
I mean, look how easy that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Not only that, you can go up. You can really... the first thing I did, Michael, who's my kid, was just like, not that you don't know, but you guys learned something about me right there, was like, make them, and I was like, I can go up, and I just ended up start making like a tower and stuff like that, and like there's floors you can put in them, and you can I think it's great, not just for things like this, not just for Dungeons and Dragons, things like Warhammer Age of Sigmar, for the sci-fi stuff, 40k, Infinity the game, and you can create like interior walls. So there's not just a case of going, okay, well let's make one room, let's make an interconnected dungeon. So I'm going to put a door over here, which is going to open that way, but then I could also carry that onto another room over here. So you then got all of this interconnected terrain,
and none of it is flimsying about.
No, it is solid. Yeah, it is properly solid. So the cardstock is
it's brilliant.
Yeah, half walls again, so you could be like, okay, right, I don't really want that to be the full thing. You could just I can make terrain all day long. This is like my thing. So like sitting here and not having to like worry too much about like putting in 3D printer pegs and stuff, which actually what I should have done there, and this is where you get a bit more clever with it.
Clever.
drop in a piece. I'm going to just grab this one here, that into there. Like sometimes they've got windows in them and stuff like that. There you go. A room within a room, and then you've got like a bit around here where you could then just be like, okay, it's not just straight right angles as well. You've got some 45 degrees in there, which, once more, I mean, it's fucking cool.
Yeah. And the fact you can just pick it up and move it and then not have to be like, oh, this one's come off, this one's come off.
Yeah.
Put it back in. It just holds its own.
Yeah, and the fact that you could just put that onto a map somewhere in a corner and it's like, okay, cool. So, you know, not that, you know, let's actually move the thing so you can see it.
Yeah.
That could be, you know, one room, essentially. You could take...
And that's a corner of your map done.
Yeah, so let's take that one there. It's a little quarter pillar. Throw that into there. Oh, look! We've got a whole room.
Yeah.
And then this can be like another corridor down here. And they're saying that set of rooms there all came off one punch board. Things like the struts, I really like these. Because what these do is they just give you those little extra bits and they fit into the top.
Okay.
And they swing underneath. And you end up with...
It's a little bit of 3D texture to it.
Yeah, just that little... And for me, it's all about the immersion. So actually, I'm going to put them on the door, you know. Let's find where that particular one is. It's going to be just there. Let's put it just on that side of it. And let's put it on. Where are you? Where are you?
Is that one there?
It's just trying to find the under... Because there's little slots underneath them.
Yeah.
It's just making sure we've got those as well.
So there's not another one in there, is there?
No, because that one's just on the edge of the door. But, I mean, that's... It's just so cool that you can just, like, go in, add this little extra bit, and it just gives you either, like, little bits to hide behind or little extra... I don't know, it just adds to that level of immersion, which for me, I'm a huge fan of. Because when you then start taking minis, and once they're all painted up and looking fantastic, you can be like, oh look, I'm just tucked into this little square just here and right behind there. Things like just going through doors, like, oh. that does it for me on so many levels, it's stupid. The terrain is ridiculous, it's so good. And it's not just walls and stuff like that. There is also, when we have a look through, let's grab things like the Arcanist desk, right?
Yeah. Do you want to zoom out the PTs then?
Yeah, so I'm going to give that to you then, because, like I say, I don't know how this goes together. So we're going to have a quick gander at
Quick little gander.
stuff like that. And there are setup guides, by the way. I think there are links in each of these books and on their websites to go to where you can set up things. But you could probably, because I mean, it's got little runes on it and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I imagine what we're going to get here is a... Nope, wrong one. A box that you put things on first. It's going to come together like so. Followed by what should be a base. Oop. Oh look!
You have a table. Yeah, and you know.
You could hide things inside there.
Yeah.
Or you could glue it together and go like that. And it's something that I did with the sci-fi ones. They've got these like big hollow tables and stuff.
Yeah.
They're double-sided as well. So one could just be like a stone, and the other one's got runes on it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fucking...
It's just good.
Stick that in a room, boom, done, sorted.
And
Bosh!
there's lots of other things.
And there is so much stuff.
There's
Like,
even these tiny little books that you can put on the tables as well that you can just give it a little bit of extra.
Pop them out.
Oh, I'm popping them out.
I need those. They're very cool. And there's like data pads in the core space ones.
Oh yeah.
So you get like pitfall traps. Look at that.
Yeah.
Levers and stuff like. I'm going to grab one of the crates and show you guys that as well because we did it with the Patrol Class Shuttle. So I'll show you with these ones as well because I really like the crates. I think that they are fun.
This one's open. It's got a little bit of writing on it.
Oh, that's cool. So the book, you can have it that way, where it's just an open book face down. But like Jack says, they've gone into the detail to put
a tiny bit of writing on there.
That's awesome. I really, really like that. What I like about things like the crates is they tend to fit together really well. and create those fun little immersive tools where players like, can I hide behind the crates or can I go in them and see what's in there? Which, mwah,
Beautiful.
booty. And then you can just go in and fill it up. Even put on. That's why I use the glue for them, is because sometimes
I think it's definitely recommended for
the
these crates and stuff to use a little bit of glue just to keep the bottoms in and stuff like that. But,
like,
you know,
yeah, it's just so fun that little things like that, which you can just put onto a map and add to the immersion of anybody playing. For me, that's a huge thing.
And then the thing is, like, I think in this game you will literally put things in these crates.
Yeah.
So when you search it, you don't know what's in there. You'll open it up. Oh yeah, I've got this item. You know, I think it's just awesome.
It's a nice touch. It really, really is. And like the graphic design on things like the terrain and stuff like that, which is very, very awesome. That we have these dungeon walls that, you know. In this one in particular as well, like you've got all of those different, like not just greys and blacks, but like you've got the greens and the yellows of like nature and moss coming through. The fact that you don't have to create square rooms, you can go 45 degrees, you can go up. I'm not actually seeing any floors in here, so I don't know if. I think this is mostly MALADUM.
This is your floor.
Yeah. Whereas with some of the other ones, you can create elevation. So you like put a floor in here, and you can play under it, you can play on it and stuff. And whereas there are so many terrain bits, but like broken holes in walls. Then you've got torches, extra doors, pillars. We've got tree roots that come off instead of the struts, so you can have like tree bits coming through.
And you know what? Little torches that hang on the walls.
Yeah.
Like, fucking awesome.
Finding weapons like swords.
Yeah.
And like, the torches themselves, like I really like that idea that, and again, this is what Tom showed me, because he was like, oh yeah, so we've taken like these marker pens and we've just coloured in around the edges of the torches, because for me, and they are right, when you're looking at it that way, you're like, oh, I can't really see the torch, so at least if you coloured that in, then yes, that one might make a huge difference, because the side of it, it's a very small piece. From that, if you're looking at it from certain angles, it's just cardstock.
Yeah, you're essentially just looking at card.
Yeah,
but
and it's only if you're like at the 90 degrees.
Like you said, if you colour that in with fiery colours on the end of the torch,
then you would see that a lot more clearly.
Yeah.
So I think that some things definitely warrant that
There's
extra.
big benefits to it.
Yeah, definitely. So I might actually take like an orange Posca pen to that and have a quick look. But yeah, just little things like having that next to a door. It's just. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And
they put a lot of thought into it, quite clearly.
They really have, and it's really, really nice. And I'm very, very glad that they sent it to us, because we're going to have a lot of fun playing this.
Fuck yeah.
I think what it has for me is that mechanical level of D&D that I really like, where it's not just necessarily RP, but you get like into the rules and like turn management and action economy, because I fucking love that shit. And I'm like, because obviously it's a board game, you have to take things in turns, and actually we haven't like looked into that. I know we'll read the rules separate to this and go in, because it might be a case that you characters can take turns in any order, or there could be an initiative. I don't know yet. We haven't looked into that, because again, I went minis and terrain, yes please, and then was like, oh actually, you know what, this is actually a streamable campaign that we should definitely fucking do. Yeah, so I think that's it for the core set, isn't it?
I think that's it. I think we've gone through everything.
So just have a look at these last little trays, because again, there is clearly that's where your pen goes.
Take off there.
So you're gonna some like free shit then. You get some silica gel.
Oh yeah, I mean you could always not eat that. Don't.
I think if anybody's out there eating silica gel, then you know.
No, I know. But there's a reason why they put "do not eat this" on those little packets, because someone will, and I'm sure someone probably has.
It's a Lee Evans joke where he's like, "Fucking parched."
Fucking parched.
So I want to know where everything fits.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's something that is in the books, perhaps to tell you.
What I'm gonna do. Where did I put the books? Did I hand them to you?
They're
over there. So if I hand you those to have a look through, I'm going to start packing down all of this stuff.
It's probably in this big old book here of where things go.
What I also like, which is a nice touch, is they coloured the connectors to match the walls.
They blend in, don't they?
Yeah, because the sci-fi ones are grey, and that works. but they don't blend in as well as these ones because some of the sci-fi walls are quite white and quite bright, whereas other walls are really dark and grimy, and they had to like obviously pick a colour on that white to black scale, on that monochromatic scale. Because what I thought this was potentially like, okay, well, in go terrain pieces, but then that's curved at the bottom. So you know what, I wonder if actually
Curved.
So that one on there, that's curved at the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to see if any of these fit into these. Because they do fit, but I don't like that it's like... It's a snug fit.
It's a snug fit.
You know, when you're like, I don't want to like ruin the cardstock on the edges or the
yeah.
corners or the sides. It's something that I want to keep pristine.
Well, I'm wondering if they're not for the terrain and stuff, because everything obviously is flat packed. You can quite clearly just take it all apart and lay on each other.
Yeah.
It might just go in here like that.
Maybe.
Maybe for like the really smaller things, you maybe put them in there. I feel like if this is curved, that's so you can kind of scoop. You know, because nothing in here is curved.
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm so used to game trays and stuff being like exact fit for things, and then going, oh god, but if I lose one piece,
Yeah.
and that's it, it's done, it's over. Especially things like the terrain. I personally wouldn't then go and change this to be flat packed again. I would probably glue all of these bits together, minus the tops. I wouldn't put the tops on because obviously I want to put things inside there and change them up. The things like the tables and stuff, I'm going to completely leave those connected and all together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to design a box that would be able to fit all those things still assembled is difficult.
Yeah.
And it would make it very large. So I can understand why that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you've got space elsewhere in your home or whatever, to be able to put these things just as they are when you've built them, go ahead and do it. But, you know, you need to keep these boxes like nice and small for people to actually take and be able to put them somewhere. So I completely understand that.
I'm going to put the connectors, pardon me, into there for now. Because there's only one bag of connectors with these ones. I'm just going to start separating out those while you try and find.
Yeah, I can't find anything to say where things go.
No. Tom, if you're watching, or if you end up watching this, just let us know. I fucking love terrain!
I don't think I'm being a biff.
Take those walls out first. And I can pack all the walls together. I really like that some of these literally have giant gaping holes throughout them. That are clearly like broken down walls.
Yeah.
And parts of sections where it's like you still have those, but it's this big open way where you get line of sight and you get a way to look through things.
Yeah.
Could also be a window.
There's a big old window.
Or maybe it's part of a castle. I mean, who builds dungeons?
Who does that?
God.
God, blimey.
They're all pillars. That's
I can't find anything to do with that. So we will have to work it out, which I'm sure we can do.
Yeah, well, I guess that's everything that's in the MALADUM core set.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of stuff, really.
It is a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff. We're probably going to close down the stream and we will sit here and unpunch everything and put it all into a box. And then depending on the time, we might be back later on to unbox the expansions. But until then, we will see you all in the future.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Go check out MALADUM, check out the link that's in chat. It's in the YouTube video when this goes up.
Check Battle System out.
Yeah, please do. They are fucking awesome. Until then, may those dice gods be ever in your favour, and we will see you later.
Ciao.
Bye.